Today on the channel, it's main event time with the main event Series 146, Bret Hart Chase Edition, and Series 148, Roddy Piper.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another WWE main event unboxing and review. And today, it's like WrestleMania 8 with Roddy Piper and Bret Hitman Hart. But of course, for all your main event needs and everything else under the sun, make sure you're hitting up Ringside Collectibles. Use discount code Kyle. Save yourself 10%. And we got the tale of two main event figures as we got Roddy Piper. I found at my local Target store. Bret Hart been hot on the hunt for, unfortunately coming up empty. However, good shout out to good brother Mark out there. He sent me this Bret Hart as I haven't been able to find this one. And I will. I find them all eventually, just not anytime soon for whatever reason. But we did unbox the regular edition of this Bret Hart on the channel already. But now we're going to do the Chase edition. And I figure putting these two together works as WrestleMania 8. Of course, we always remember Roddy Piper versus Bret Hart. Never forget that Intercontinental title feud, whatever you want to call it. But I always go back to this Roddy Piper as being my heyday Roddy Piper. When I close my eyes and think of Roddy Piper, I don't think pre-WWF. I don't think his feud with Hulkamania, WrestleMania 1. I came and saw Roddy Piper for the first time at WrestleMania 3, watching that on tape after the event had happened. That was my first introduction to Roddy Piper, and we know he retired after that. So really, my heyday of Roddy Piper was his WCW time frame and his announcing Intercontinental title run for the WWF back in the day. So when I close my eyes, think of Roddy Piper, this is kind of what I think of. And I guess we'll start with Piper here. Why wouldn't we? Why don't we? We'll start with the hot rod right here. But this is what I think of. Now, this is far from a perfect figure, of course. It is a bit of a re-release. We'll do some comparisons of this one and this one later on in this video. But it is cool to get this version of Roddy Piper. To me, though, this could be my most wanted Ultimate at this time. Get me this version, this era of Roddy Piper. Give me the soft goods kilt, of course, soft goods shirt maybe, or a plastic shirt, whatever you want to do. Give me some bagpipes. Give me the Intercontinental title. Give me the long hair for the hot rod. That's what I want to see in an Ultimate Edition. It'll be coming. It'll come eventually, I have to imagine. But you got the hot rod looking good in Series 148. Piper over there. Of course, main event. Oh, it's not a basic anymore. It's a main event. This is truly the main event of your day. I'm sure watching this video, you're like, this is the main event of my day. And if that's the case, what's going on with your day? Who knows? Cross-sell down below. Of course, Carmelo Hayes, John Cena ×2 in this wave. Hulk Hogan and Caden Carter. On the hunt for Caden Carter still. Carmelo Hayes is a pass. We unboxed the Hulkster on the channel, and we'll unbox both John Cena's when I do get that one on the channel as well. But let's see what it says about the old Hot Scott here. Signature move, that dreaded sleeper hold, and he is a brawler. So I guess I would agree on, I would co-sign on all that. I would. I really would. There you go. See you later. Hot Rod, goodbye. Plastic Prison looking good for the Hot Rod. Bam! See you later, goodbye. All right, let's get down to the Hot Rod here. A very main event, I was going to say a very basic figure, a very main event figure, but it is a basic figure right here. Not a ton of bells and whistles with this one. We're going to start with the head sculpt on the hot rod. I believe this is the They Live Roddy Piper head scan. You even got the indentions in the hair where the glasses go. I believe that is the case, and he does have a little bit of that far away look. It's like sometimes when I'm raw dogging it on an airplane, of course, that's what they call it these days. Sometimes I'll just stare out that window for like 4 hours, and I won't break my gaze. I won't do anything. I'll stare out the window on an airplane. Roddy's got kind of that look I get. You get in that trance. You get in the zone, dare I say it. He's got that. He looks a little dead in the eyes there, or a little spooked, or a little surprised, or maybe hypnotized. Who knows? But a little bit dead in the eyes on this hot rod here. A little bit blondish in the hair color here. I think it might be a touch too blonde. I could be wrong, but it is a blonder hair color on this one there. Besides that, though, I would know this is Roddy Piper if somebody did one of these where they just pulled this off and they said, "Hey, Kyle," and they handed me this, I'd say, "What do you do with that Roddy Piper head?" That's what I would say. That's what I would say to that individual, be it female or male, or a dog. If a dog would let me, Ace brought it to me, I'd say, "What do you do with that Roddy Piper?" That's what I'd say. but it looks like the Hot Rod, but it is far from perfect. Got the Hot Rod t-shirt going on. It is a painted t-shirt here. Is what it is. You kind of expect that there. Maybe a little too bright in the red on the ringer portions of the tee. That's really nitpicking, though, at this point. We do got a gripping hand. You do got a Roddy Piper Fist of Fury. You know, we're here for that, for a brawler, of course. Got the white painted on wrist tapes. You got the blue tights, the blue knee pads. You got those red Roddy Piper boots. And, of course, articulation arm goes all the way around. Side to side, single jointed elbow. Hands removable, back forth, side to side. Head removable, back forth, side to side. Waist articulation, there it is. We got a little of that. We get a little of that Hot Rod splits. Oh my gosh, watch out. Hot Rod doing the splits there, of course. New articulation with this main event series. Leg does go up. Oh, my super tight knees. I can't even bend them. They're so tight. There we go. We do got single jointed knees. You do get a boot cut on the Hot Rod here, and then nothing at the ankles, nothing down there at all. So it is the Hot Rod for $11-12. Not the worst spend, but it's far from the best Roddy Piper. Does he fit on a Mattel ringside collectible stand? Yes, he does. But I do have, I guess I'll say the original version of this one. I guess that's what we'll call it here. I believe maybe a Walmart exclusive back in the day. Was it like Signature Series or Shirt Series or something? We did get this way back when. That's kind of what this is based off of. But this is that god-awful early Roddy Piper head scan. I think the first head scan we got from Mattel for Piper. You can definitely tell the differences there. As much as I may not be over the moon with this head scan, it is head and shoulders above this one, no doubt about it. So we do get a little what is old is new again with this Hot Rod Roddy Piper. Pretty cool, though, if you're a Piper fan. We don't get tons and tons and tons of Pipers like we do with the Hogans, the John Cenas, the Roman Reigns. So anytime there's a Piper figure, it does feel a little bit special, to me at least. But speaking of special, how about the Hitman, Bret Hart? Of course, quite the feud between these two for a little bit. And I truly do believe, I love Bret Hart as a member of the Hart Foundation into his singles run throughout his career. I was a big Bret Hart fan. I always was. He wasn't my favorite tippy-top guy, but I always enjoyed him. I really liked what he did. But I always felt the Roddy Piper feud over that Intercontinental title took him to the next level, took him to the future main event status and Hall of Fame status that we know him as today. So shout out to Piper and Bret Hart. Bret Hart, of course, this is the chase, and we'll compare the other two in a little bit here in this video as well. Bret Hitman Hart, Series 146, of course. WWE logo, main event. On the back, we unboxed some of these on the channel. We actually unboxed, I think it was the Kevin Owens and the Giovanni Vinci. First time in the line, we unboxed those. Of course, Bret Hitman Hart signature move, the sharpshooter, and he is a technician of the mat, as we do know. Shout out to Bret Hart. See you later. Goodbye. Plastic prison for old Bret Hart here, and what is old is new again as well, as we've seen this figure in the past as well. See you later, goodbye. I had a rattle. I had one of those unfortunate rattles in the regular version of this one. I guess I'll show you here in a little bit. This one, rattle-free, thankfully. Always like this Bret scan. Are they perfect? No, there's never been an absolute perfect. Some people say that Hasbro Bret Hart head scan's perfect. I always thought it was wild. Why do you have such a big face, Bret Hart, back then? It's okay. I know it's Bret Hart, but I would say that's far from perfect. I think Jakks Classic Superstars, Deluxe and Regular, that's the closest we've ever got to perfection in the Bret Hart head scans. But this one is not bad. I don't mind this head scan at all. Looking pretty good with the black hair coming down his face, all the usual Bret Hart hits of the older Bret Hart scans from back in the day here. Pink singlet top. Of course, you got the black heart right there. Oh, his heart's is black. Just black. And then you got the black tights going on. Black knee pads, black elbow pads, white wrist tape. White and pink on the boots, of course. And you got a little racing stripe in the pink and white down the side. Just a good looking Bret Hart. And then same hands as Roddy Piper. A gripping hand and a fist of Bret Hart Fury over here. Don't need to walk through the articulation with this Bret Hart, as it is identical to, of course, Roddy Piper. But does he fit on a ringside collectible stand? Use discount code Kyle. Save yourself 10% as usual. A very good serviceable Bret Hart. A little earlier edition Bret Hart. Here for that, though. Here for that all day long. And speaking of this one, we had one way back in the day. Couldn't even begin to tell you. Was this part of like the Heritage series? I think that was the all pink one. But this was released back in the day. Now it's getting a second lease on life. What's old is new again, just like the Roddy Piper. I would say this one is an upgrade, though, just like the Roddy Piper was, of course. Very nice upgrade there. But I do got the regular editions of Bret Hart right here, so we get 4 Bret Harts between the two. And yeah, this is the one that has the rattle. So it could double as a baby rattle. Can you hear that? I don't know if you can, but that's absolutely annoying. I'm not a big fan of that one. We'll see. I might have to replace it. I don't know if you call it OCD, but drives me absolutely crazy. We'll see what happens there. But it's the tale of two main eventers in more ways than one. Mattel main event 146, Chase Bret Hart, 148, Roddy Piper. Definitely serviceable figures for around $23, $24. Not a bad day at the office, I will say. And two of my all-time favorites, so I knew I had to pick these up eventually. And that leads us to this video, so here we are here today. So there it is. Roddy Piper, Bret Hart. What are your guys' thoughts on these? You a big fan of these two? Who do you prefer, Bret Hart or Roddy Piper? Let me know in the comments down below. You made it this far. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the old notification bells. We got videos every single day and then some. We got even more content for you, of course, over on Patreon. Patreon, the best way to support this YouTube channel and all the content it does bring. You can also support the channel at ProWrestlingTees.com. Search Kyle Peterson. Don't forget social media. Sir Paul64 on the X and the _Kyle_Peterson on Threads and on Instagram. So for the Hot Scott and the Hitman, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.